How you doing? Yeah, or in other words, what's up? My name is Eminem and stands for Mechanics in Motion. Want to welcome you to DC. This is the DC area, as you can see, from what you already know, the Capitol Monument, White House, Lincoln Memorial. But to us, this was an area where we used to come down and just flex our muscles when it comes to b-boying. As far as hip-hop's concerned, the aspect that I just wanted to, hit in the area of is the area of the b-boys, the poppers, and the lockers. Back in like the 80s, early 80s, 83, 84, a lot of groups, there was like hundreds and hundreds of groups in this area. Whatever you name it, it was there. Anything that had to do with hip-hop, it was there. This is the area that we used to come down to, the Landsberg building, which was the club was known as the Crib. It was a DC, it really was a personal project for a nonviolent group, and to see if basically if there was an alternative for teens to get into without getting into violence and a lot of the killing that used to go on back then, because basically DC, if you don't know, was known to the basically people that actually live here as Dodge City, which was, killings every night. DC hasn't been recognized a lot when it comes to hip-hop underground scene because it's a political town, so to speak. Politics, big politics.
Well, it pretty much started out like when I was a young kid. It started off from comic books and stuff, and I always loved drawing. You know, always been into the arts since I was a little kid. So just the subject matter just gradually changed as I grew older, especially when I started getting into hip hop. It's a little bit more politically charged, and it's just a mixture of a lot of stuff. I don't know. Washington D.C. is really it's coming up on the graffiti scene. As far as the police, I mean, graffiti has always been considered like a form of vandalism. Once young people get together and start something, it's always conceived as trouble or something disastrous. So the police will always be looking out for, graffiti artists based on the history. Like we're known to bomb stuff, like just run up on corporate buildings and tag it and tag trains and buses and stuff. But they have to look on the right side of it though. There's a lot of interesting graffiti, sites and artists around here that, you know, make make the whole scene like really, poppy. The problem mainly with DC is not just the police or like, if there's enough graffiti artists. It's just DC, if you ask me personally, from my own perspective, I think DC is kind of lacking that creative factor because everything is like, everybody is so professional and like into all types of other shit. Like, they rather just sit around in a fucking lounge and check email and fucking, dating services and shit than being creative. And, that's not the police fault or the artist's fault. There are artists out here. People just refuse to recognize the artists and shit. If the only creative thing about DC mainly is the gentrification, basically, clearing out the whole fucking neighborhood and building condos that people can't afford. And that's their own idea of like fucking affordable housing and shit. But now graffiti is commercialized. You can have like Bush, fucking commission a graffiti artist to do his backdrop for his